Okay, hello, and it's Coffee Talk with me, Paula Gigi. And as you know, we had one coffee talk already today, so stay a while and catch up with me now as I talk to us about something new I've tried. As you know, I like to share. And I guess it's been almost 3 weeks ago now, a neighbor of mine had found a place where we could get some fresh eggs, and I like getting a hold of fresh eggs. And it was a real plus because when I called the young lady to see if she had any eggs, she said, "Well, I don't. All I have is duck eggs. Mostly, I can give you some chicken eggs, but all I have is duck eggs." And I'm like, I'm not sure about that. I never had duck eggs, and we talked, and I hung up, and I had given her an order for the chicken eggs. And the next thing I know, a few hours later, after I got done washing my floors, and I was thinking the whole time, I thought about the duck eggs. And I thought, well, what the heck? I'll give it a try. I mean, I won't know until I try it if I like them or not. So I got the duck eggs. And in the meantime, the time that I was supposed to go pick them up, I went online and I was looking about duck eggs. I wanted to know all about them. And I found out that really they're very, very good. Out of all the eggs, I guess they have most of the nutrition that our bodies need. So I thought, well, my goodness, if these duck eggs work out, I might just have them instead because I usually do at least three eggs in the morning and another egg at night. And the duck eggs, I could do two eggs a day and get the same value of eggs, but better nutrition all the way around. So, anyways, I got the duck eggs, and I had the first one the next morning in my coffee, one. And my goodness, couldn't tell the difference at all. And I thought, well, okay, this is good. And so then I had one that night for supper. And the next day, I gave my husband, we had talked about it, and he said he'd give him a try. So the next day, I gave him two chicken eggs and one duck egg. And he ate them. I didn't tell him until he got all done eating. Actually, it was probably an hour later. And I said something about the duck eggs. And I said, what'd you think about that duck egg you had today? And he said, well, was that the bigger one? I said, yeah. I said, could you notice any difference between it and the chicken egg? And he said, not at all. And I said, well, the duck egg is equal to two chicken eggs. And he said, that means I could eat less eggs and get better nutrition. And I said, yeah. So now we're both eating duck eggs. And when I went to call the girl for more eggs, she said, well, all I've got is chicken eggs. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll get a dozen chicken eggs. But in the meantime, when you get a dozen duck eggs, will you let me know? Because I prefer the duck eggs. And I said, that's all your fault. You told me they were good. They were just like the chicken egg. I tasted them. I liked them. We enjoyed them. And now that's what we want. So anyways, we started doing the duck eggs. And like I said, I always have in my coffee in the morning, I was having chicken eggs. Uh, I would have one chicken egg whole and then two chicken yolks in my coffee. Well, now I can have the one duck egg and get the same value, if not better, in my coffee. And so, anyways, I've been enjoying the duck eggs. But guess what? One day I'm watching the videos, and I guess because I'd done so much research on duck eggs, Dr. Ken Berry came up, and I like his videos and many others as well. But I'm like, okay, let me go there. Let me go see and check this out. So I checked it out, and he talks about the value of duck eggs and everything that I'd already seen. And then he said, talks about the importance of the shell. And I'm like, shells? I'm not too into shells. I can't picture me munching on a shell. And then toward the end of his video, he said, and you could do it this way. And he told about how you save up your eggshells in a gallon bag in a freezer until you get a bag full. Then you put them in the oven and you bake them for so long. Then you bring them out and you pulverize them. And then you take and sprinkle it on your food. So I thought, what the heck? I've tried it so far this way. Let me try the duck eggs. I just forget the name. Pulse stop or whatever. Okay. Anyways, so I did that. And it was less than a week. I had enough in the bag to do. So I baked them up. I put them in my bullet. I pulverize them and put that into a jar. And we started having that on our food, and I'd sprinkle just a little tiny bit on Dash's food. And so we've noticed that it doesn't change the value of the food as far as taste goes. And I'm sorry, but seeing as I always put everything in my morning coffee, I also put the pulverized duck egg shells in my coffee, and I blend those up with my inverted blender, so I get my nice foam on the top, and I drink it down. And when I get to about a half a cup left, I just kind of swirl my cup so that none of that shell's sitting in the bottom. And by the time I've gotten down to the bottom, every time I do a big swirl, I take a drink, there's nothing left. And so I thought, you know what, it's been a long time since I've got on and done a carnivore video, and this is really an improvement for me. It's something I've added to my diet because of carnivore. And another thing is, I found also, the more I research on carnivore and on duck eggs, that there's so many benefits in the total duck egg, including the shell. And so I'm glad that I'm doing this, and I'm looking to see what I can notice for changes as the time goes on. And there are supposed to be a lot of things you can notice, and I'm beginning to see some changes, but I'm not going to talk about them right now because I want to be on it for about a month and come back and give you another report as to how I'm feeling and what I think may be the changes that were here due to the duck eggs. And so that's why I thought, after I finished uploading my Bible study on Coffee Talk today, let me catch up with us on a carnivore video, because I was finished up, and little Dash, she's laying in the seat here beside me, so that's why I might be a little off-centered today, and he loves to lay here with me. But anyway, so carnivore more. That's all I can say. I've had people send me messages. Even I did one on having a gallbladder attack not long after I had been on carnivore. I was a little bit surprised. It wasn't severe. I've had some severe ones. It wasn't severe, but I questioned if anybody else had that, and there have been other people that have told me they had. And some guy got on and warned me, you're going to have more because you eat more fat, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? I've increased my fat, and I'm not having them. I'm not having any more trouble with my gallbladder. And so I guess I'm sharing that because don't believe everything everybody tells you. And remember, everybody's different. Every body is different. Every person's likes and dislikes are different. And you may not like duck eggs, but I find them to be very fabulous. And it also got me reading about ostrich eggs and all the others. But in reading all about the eggs, I have focused now on the duck eggs. And hey, my person for eggs is not very far down the road, and so I'm just so happy that I can just go there and get fresh eggs, call her up and say, okay, I'm getting down to the line, I need another dozen and a half. I usually get a dozen and a half at a time, a dozen and a half duck eggs, and so she'll get them all lined up and send me a message, got your dozen and a half, and I boogie on down and pick it up. So anyways, that's my message for you today, sharing with you on carnivore. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to upload this right now and put up a couple of runners to it in the shorts, hoping that other people will come and view it. And if you are doing duck eggs, leave me comments in the messages below. I'd like to know how you have benefited from the duck eggs, and also if you're doing the pulverized shells. I'd like to know how you use it besides sprinkling it on your food and, like me, putting it in your coffee, which I call my coffee every morning a latte, because I put it all in my cup that goes to my NutriBullet, and I put everything in raw and ready. I heat my coffee and pour my coffee in there on top of it as I'm mixing it up with the inverted blender, and I get a nice froth on the top about this high, and then I pour it in my cup. And so that's how I enjoy it every morning. I've been enjoying it every morning that way for 2 years anyways, and I think for the whole 3 years, but I know for 2 years anyways. And I prefer my coffee in the morning. I get up, I study. When I feel like it's coffee time, which is around 7-ish, then I go take a coffee break, mix my coffee, come back, go back to my study and sip at my coffee, and I enjoy it. I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoy it. So, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed Coffee Talk with me, and I love it when you all come out to stay a little while and hear what I've got to share with you. And if you enjoyed this video, share it with others and tell them about Coffee Talk with me, Paula. Be blessed. In Jesus' name.